Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. Now, I've recently gotten questions about grading notes. Um, I don't grade notes. Of all the notes that I have only sent one note in for grading. And the reason for that is, well, what am I trying to prove by getting the note graded? You see, that's the question. If I got a really good deal on a note and then I have to pay all that money to get it graded, well, I no longer have a good deal on the note. um, if I have a note that is worth $500 in a particular grade and I bought that note for $400, well, that's a good deal. But if I then take that $400 note and send it off to be graded, that's going to cost me almost $80. Well, that means that $500 note that I paid $400 now cost me $480, and I didn't gain anything. If I was really concerned about the grade, I would have just bought it a graded note in the first place. It's always better to have somebody else pay for the grading. You don't want to be the one that's actually doing that. Um, Now, one thing you can do is you can save up your notes, and if you send them in bulk, you do get a little bit better deal. Usually, if you send them 10 at a time, you're talking somewhere around $40 a piece, so you're looking at $400 or so in order to get 10 notes graded. And if you like doing that, that's fine. But the thing is, I just got back from the coin shop, and I just got all of this stuff here. And you know what my cost was on all this stuff? $400, $380. Which means I got all this, or I could have sent in one note to have it graded. I prefer adding to my collection $400 at a time rather than just getting a few notes graded. If you want to do it, go for it, but don't feel obligated to do it. If you really want a graded version of a particular note, just buy the graded version of the particular note. Have somebody else pay that fee. All right, let's get these out of the way. Take a look at what I found this week. Starting off, found another Where's George. This is that particular Where's George stamp that I've seen many times. I don't think I can actually log it. I will make the attempt, but you are only allowed to log 20 per user, so I've exceeded my limit with that user. Did find some trinaries. This one's zeros, ones, and threes. Really nice shape on this one. This one is also zeros, ones, and threes. Not quite as nice. Threes, fives, and eights. This one is quads. Quad fours with a fifth. Quad fours again on this particular note. Pretty good shape on that one. Quad fives, and you can see these digits. They don't quite line up. These are a little bit raised. That doesn't really change the value. It has to be a significant uptick in order to increase the value. So that's not quite going to do it. Did find some stars. 2017 star, really nice shape on this one. That one's dog-eared, I don't want to catch it there. Another 2017, also pretty good shape. There's the dog-eared 2017. Unfold that corner. Another 2017 here. I did find quite a few stars, so I was pretty happy with that. 2017 there as well. 2017, you can see it's got a counter stamp on there. Hopefully it's not rare. If it is not rare, I'll probably be sending this one back. 2013 on there, 2013 on this one. Also be double checking just to make sure your stars aren't filled in, because I haven't run across one yet, but I have seen people who have, so always be on the lookout for that. Here's one of the 2013 New York notes, star notes. Chance for that to be double printed. This one is Fort Worth. They ran the same numbers through Fort Worth as they did Washington, D.C., so it is possible to find two of these notes with the exact same serial number. Another one here, 2013 B note. This is a fairly low number, so I have the feeling that's definitely in the range of potentially being a duplicate note. Another 2013 star. And you can see I found quite a few stars this time, so I was extremely lucky. Not in the greatest of shape, but still a star note. And check out this one, 2001 star note. That's about as old as you find for star notes. You don't really come across too many older than that. Now, normally I collect 2001 and older for notes, but this 2003, it's not a G, it's not an L, it's one of the Richmond, Virginia notes from an E note, and it's in really, really nice shape. So I wanted to check this with the note I have in my binder to see if it's an upgrader. I have a feeling it will. 2001, 1999. Pretty rough shape on that. 1995, and we're checking for web notes. A web note is only going to have that small little number right there. A web note also does not have this, like this one says A4. A is basically the quadrant. I know it's not a quadrant, it's divided into 8 spots, but and then the 4 is the specific location in that quadrant. None of that will be there if this was a web note. A web note is only going to have one teeny tiny little plate number right there. Okay, 1995, not a web note. Another 95, pretty rough shape. Another 95, really rough. Another 95, a little better. This one is probably the best 95 that I've had out of that group. Another 95 here. And 1988A. This is the first year you can find a web note. This one isn't, but 88A, 93, and 95, those are your years for web notes. 1985. And then the oldest note here is from 1977. I don't find notes from the 70s too often, so this was a cool find. Now, you do notice I've got something in a sleeve behind there, and I touched on it a couple times already while I was talking about this. It's a 1977A star note. You just do not find star notes from the 70s in circulation. So I put that in here. It's not in the greatest of shape, but like I said, try finding one. People didn't bother to save notes from the 70s. They saved some of the 60s because they were brand new. By the 70s, everybody had seen these, so nobody bothered to save 70s notes. And for it to be a star note, well, that's quite impressive. And this particular star, can't tell if that's a printing error on it or if it's just damage. So that was pretty interesting to see. Anyway, 1977A star note, that was a really cool find. So what did I bring out this week? Well, this week is one of the notes that was in that giant stack. One of the notes that I purchased. You'll be seeing a lot of these notes, I'm sure. And check this out. This is a 1977 Federal Reserve note from Dallas, and it's graded 64 PPQ, of course, choice uncirculated. Now, it's a 74, or it's a 64, and looking at it, I'm surprised that it got that high of a grade, to be honest, because there's like this little ink smudge here. I mean, I'm sure that's all it is an ink smudge, just from the printing process itself. I wouldn't call that an ink smear. And then when you look at the centering, I mean, I can see that it's not perfect top to bottom or even left to right. This side is thinner than this side, and the top is thinner than the bottom. If you turn it over, that's even more prominent. Look at the bottom, how much room there is here compared to how much there is here. Left to right on the back is okay. But yeah, I was really surprised that it graded as a 64. So the question is, why do I have this? Well, let's read the next line. Stuck digit error. This is what you're looking for when it comes to stuck digits, otherwise known as gas pump errors or raised digits. You can see down here, everything lines up the way it's supposed to, but if you look on this side, the 9 did not come all the way down, and only a small portion, a portion of that 9 isn't even visible. That is what makes the raised digit or the stuck digit or the gas pump error so valuable. When you get a partial print on that particular serial number, that's what you're looking for when it comes to raised digits. Now, I see a lot of people showing gas pump errors on, and that should tell you how easy it is to find those. They are very common, but to have a stuck digit where a portion of the number is missing, well, that becomes a significant error. And I didn't have one. Now I do, so I had to pick this one up. Now, this particular one, being that stuck digit like that, it is graded. It does have the stuck digit error denotation on there, so that makes me happy. Taking a look at the back, of course, I showed you before, the back is, the back is just fine. There's nothing exciting there. You can see the asking price on this particular one. Yeah, so that is my stuck digit error. That way, when you guys are looking and you find a raised digit, you know that it can be worth money, but it's got to be up there like that with part of it missing. Now, another thing you're going to find with these stuck digits is more often than not, they're always the 9 that's stuck. And the reason why the 9 is stuck is because when it flips from 9 to 0, it then has to flip the next digit as well. So the 9 itself, when it turns, always has a lot more to do. It has to turn the 9, but it also has to click on the 1 and turn that to a 2. And if this is higher, you could be turning many of these. It could be, if this was 9999, that means this last 9 will be turning all of these digits, which is also what would lead to it getting stuck. That's why when it comes to stuck digits, 9 is the most likely number to be stuck. All right, guys, that's what I've got for you this week. My 1977 stuck digit, or gas pump error, or raised digit, however you'd like to call it. If you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. I love reading all your comments, and I'll see you guys again next week.